evening, everybody. Welcome to KC Happy Hour, episode number 53. We are past the 50 mark. We are past the 2022 SKUSA Pro Tour. My name is Xander Clements, your guys' host. We've got drivers back on the show, a full panel of drivers to join myself and Aaron Hackmeister for the first time in a while. We're going to cover a little bit of news, and then we'll get into talking a lot about what transpired over the weekend, a little bit of each of their individual weekends, what the rest of the year for them looks like, where they're at right now, because they're kind of all over the place. Of course, we got karting's favorite suitcase man, Marijn Kremers, somewhere in Colombia. Is that where you're at right now?
Yeah, that's right, Colombia.
Yeah, Colombia. We've got the silent assassin, stone cold killer, Pauly Massimino's here with a weird smile. Fortnite world champion Austin Garrison joins us for the first time ever.
What up?
And our favorite cyberbullying victim, Ryan Norberg, is here. We are so happy to have him back to talk to his face again. Although Austin did a hell of a job taking it right to him this weekend. I was having a good time up there in the booth. So we're going to get to all that stuff here in a little bit as we'll let everybody kind of chime on in. There was, of course, news that dropped over the course of last week, the US Pro Kart Series. We had announced already and covered on the show that they were going officially to the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati. That was, of course, the big new track we had suspected, and it had been talked about even last year. We covered a little bit of the speculation on the schedule of whether or not Speed Sports Racing Park in New Caney, Texas, right near Houston, was going to get a date. They've got a date. It was originally set to go to January to start the year. They're going to actually start in March, which is pretty much identical to where we were this year. Ryan, I'm sure you are happy you get another home race here this weekend to kick it off.
Yeah, of course, man. The schedule looks pretty good. I actually was talking to some of my teammates like right before this, probably the day before, and I called basically every race except for GoPro. That was the only one in that exact order. I thought maybe they'd go somewhere else because last year they talked about, going somewhere else, so I didn't think they would. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It's cool list of tracks. I mean, I like speed sports. It's a fun track, so I'm excited to see, what's going on there. I like going to Texas, so yeah, it's an exciting schedule.
Yeah, Austin, you've worked at Speed Sports a good number of times with the Texas State Series. Have you ever turned laps around that place?
I actually haven't, no. I've just been there out for work. I think it's a great track all around. I think it's a pretty good driver's track. I'm going to be doing a race out there, actually. I think there's a Lone Star Grand Prix deal that's going on a Memorial Day. So I'll be the first time laying down some laps there, so I'll be good for me leading into, next year going into the USBKS events.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I think it's a racetrack, that one. I really wish Ryan could come so I could DQ him because the tech guys always start doing a good enough job of it, right?
Honestly, they should do like a fun, I don't know, not like a mechanics race or something. I don't know, something for money on those like little tracks that they have off to the side because those are pretty dope, like little rental tracks too. So if they did like a mechanics race or something out like one of the nights, like that would be really cool. I mean, they got the place to do it now, so it's like it'd be cool if they did it,
Yeah, I think both places would be cool. They even talked a little bit. I know talking to Mark Coates a little bit. I chatted with him yesterday on the drive home back from Newcastle. He's open to doing a night race too, just a full-on night show, even which what we saw with the Star Series this year. They can't do it at. They couldn't have done it this year at GoPro with the way the time is. They can't. He was even, he's like, you can't even Newcastle this weekend. We were still having light till 8:30. So going there in a month still be a bunch of light. But, I mean, they've done that stuff in the past with the Route Series. They've never done it with the USPKS event. But I think Stars doing that kind of opened everybody's eyes again. That everybody likes not having to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to come to the racetrack. Maybe we get some mile
for real.
Yeah. Maybe. There it is.
Not even listening to what you're saying. It's just staring.
Honestly, here, let's go around the horn at least here in this opening segment. Give you guys a minute to talk about the weekend. Pauly, first weekend, CRG Chassis, Speed Concepts. You've known these guys for a while, but you switched around. How do you feel after 1 week with them?
Yeah, it was a very fun weekend. The team did an incredible job. They're all great over there. I kind of let myself and the team down this weekend. It wasn't really on their part. I was just kind of driving differently, which I kind of shouldn't have. Obviously, I was still learning the go-kart on a little bit on Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday kart was pretty good. And, I just made some bonehead moves, and then, I got crashed in the final, so that's always good. And Sunday, I thought the kart was excellent. I was very satisfied with the kart. I just kind of drove like I'm not gonna say the word, but I didn't drive aggressively, and it kind of costed me, and was coming up through in the final, and just kind of kept getting raced for 10th. So, but other than that, very happy with the team. Everyone over there is great. Everybody's very smart. Kart's very good. I'm looking forward to keep working on it, and I actually brought one home to keep testing on it. So I'll be ready for Newcastle next time around.
Sweet. Marijn, I'm sure it was at least it's not a full plane ride back over to Europe, right? You're in roughly the same time zone as we are, but how's your neck feeling? Can you explain to the viewers a little bit of kind of what was going on with you and what the heck you did to get a kink in your neck on Thursday?
I don't really know what happened, to be honest. I still don't know. It's doing a lot better. I can move it and everything like that, but it didn't really slow me down on the weekend either. Like once I got in the car and got the helmet on, it was fine. It was just it was a hinder in the paddock, really. Like people would call my name and I would have to like fully turn around to like see who actually called my name, because I couldn't just turn and like look around me. So that was a little strange, but yeah, it's physically very tough running those two classes, and doing the week before as well was my own mechanic for both classes. So yeah, just physically very tough 2 weeks. So happy to get some rest now.
Yeah, for sure. Now you've set the bar though pretty high. I mean, Ryan, your girlfriend's into fitness. You're supposed to be going to the gym regularly. What's the deal now? People want you in shifter. You got your X30 job. You could do too. Marijn did too and won a title.
I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not that fit. I mean, Danny's working out every night, and he was in the gym, and I went and got me an ice cream sundae after one of the races. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm in shifter shape yet, but I don't know. It might be on the horizon here soon. I've been working on Rolison for a while and begging him every single weekend. So, I don't know. It seems like he's more open to the idea, and obviously having Danny there. I mean, he was really happy with the go-kart. Obviously, he had some engine issues here and there, and that kind of really hindered his weekend. But he was happy with the kart and happy with with everything. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking to maybe do some of that in the future, hopefully.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It would shut a lot of the viewers up, I think, a little bit and add a little legitimacy. Obviously, we all know both classes got a lot of top guys. Austin, you're a guy that's gone back and forth from X30 to shifter the last couple of years. And you started this year kind of not really sure what races you were going to do. You've got a few in. I know you said you wanted to get some testing. Do you have any more updates on hopefully getting some more laps later this year?
Yeah, so when we first when I started to be with Speed Concepts this year, we didn't really know what races I was going to be going and doing. Actually, I just went and kind of our base plan going into this year was obviously work with the senior drivers. But obviously, I go out there doing testing with them, and my pace was obviously fast, and they wanted me to go in and race, but sometimes it's too last minute to go and actually enter. So, but now we're like, hey, listen, now I'm going to be on the CRG for this race. I really want you to go out there and see what this product has, and so on and so forth. So that's when they threw me in for the USPKS race, and then now for the SKUSA Pro Tour. So definitely, I need to go out and do more testing. I wasn't actually planning on going and racing for the test weekend before SKUSA, but thank God that I went and did. We did a lot of trial and error throughout the whole entire weekend. We learned stuff that was good and bad that we took forward to for the Pro Tour weekend, and definitely for the future, leading on to other races, I hopefully can go and do some testing up at Mooresville or Orlando. Have our team there with like me, Pauly, Weinberg, maybe Jeffers, and anybody else who's going to be involved with that senior program.
And do you guys think, obviously now you've got two full weekends on the CRG, 3 weekends running with the team, but you've been with them all year. Do you guys feel like you're making some headway on kind of figuring out what you need?
I definitely think so. I was obviously, everybody knows I was a little bit nervous going back on it, but it's definitely way better than what it has been in the past. They made a very big stride. I'm pretty confident, with the product that we have now going forward. We obviously do go and struggle on it at times, but it's been fast and proven to be fast at every single racetrack so far. So we're definitely going to go and keep grinding and keep digging to go and see what else we can go and get out of a chassis. We have new chassis being made for how we've been doing throughout this whole year. And we have a pretty good baseline of the kart that we have now and how we went and drove it. We have Cameron Weinberg was a really good baseline to go off of because he was on the kart before I was, and I was on the Tony kart. So they wanted me to go and test it, and I wanted to go and test it to see how it was going to go and be. So it kind of started off on his baseline. It was kind of unfortunate he wasn't with us at the SKUSA Pro Tour because he is a big help to the team, because obviously the more senior drivers you have that are at that high of caliber driving, with me, Pauly, and Cameron would have been there, it would have been a lot easier for us to figure it out faster, because more karts you have in that high caliber of driver, you can test different things on the chassis to make everything, evolve a little bit quicker.
For sure. Well, it at least sounds good, right? Again, hopefully everyone's got some more time before we go to the next race. We got about a month until the pro season kicks back off again, maybe a month and a half till the Newcastle US PKS round comes up, and then we go towards the later parts of the year. We're going to take our first commercial break right now. We're going to get back into some more fun conversation starters as we put the weekend to bed. There were some talking points coming out of it, but with the US PKS schedule out, SKUSA hasn't set theirs yet. I'd love to hear what these guys and, of course, myself and Aaron have thoughts on for where we'd love to see the Pro Tour go in 2023. And Supernats 25, SKUSA is wanting to go all out, and the planning is already underway. We're going to be there. We're already working on our wish list of what we can try and pull off broadcast-wise, but that event is cool. They've tried different things throughout the years. Cool, not cool. A lot of these guys have participated in the different segments they've had along with racing the event years on end. So they've got some ideas as well. And we'll kind of pick their brain a little bit about that. So again, stick with us, guys. KC Happy Hour is just getting started. Send in your comments and questions while we got all these guys here, because all of them are super busy with their schedules. And as the year goes on, it's always tough to track down everybody that we can. So send in anything you got. We got more to come and a lot juicier stuff to talk about here when we come back after the break.
KC Happy Hour is presented by Precision Performance Karting. PPK is the exclusive South Florida distributor for the American-made Coyote Zenith kart racing chassis. PPK is offering trackside support at all the Cup Kart South Division events, the CKNA majors, including the Spring Nats and the Grand Nats, the Sunshine State Karting Challenge, and a number of club events in the Southeast. New here for 2022 and in partnership with Brandon Jarscrack Racing, PPK is also offering full arrive and drive opportunities in the junior, senior, Briggs 206 classes at the popular Stars Championship Series and the GoPro Motorplex Karting Challenge events. The same professionally prepared kart and motor package has propelled Brandon to victories at Winter Nationals and the Monticello Divisional in 2022 are available to you. In addition to the Coyote line of racing chassis, Precision Performance Karting is also a distributor for Odenthal Racing Products, Hilliard Clutches, Vega Tires, and Greyhound Racing Seats. Check out Precision Performance Karting on Facebook and Instagram, or email them at ppkartingfl@gmail.com. As the Western importer of the Praga and Formula K chassis brands, Leading Edge Motorsports is a high-performance kart shop and race team with a simple mission: teach others the joy of high-performance driving, supply our customers with the highest quality products and services, and most of all, win races. With our remarkable racing inventory, expert services, and top-ranked national-level team to back it up, we'll help to get your new kart racing package up and running fast. From arrive and drive service to kart preparation and driver coaching to the parts you need to get you back on the racetrack, Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer.
All right, guys, welcome back here to KC Happy Hour, episode number 53. Now, as we get into this weekend, Marijn, I want to go back to you a little bit. You've now not only won on U.S. soil, you won a championship on U.S. soil now, and you've run a full season in more races in the States than you ever have. So going from this to then a couple of years ago where you were contending for the European title, winning the world title, differences that you can think of, anything that stood out over the course of this year, from the atmosphere at the American races to the European stuff?
Well, the European stuff is like a lot of one-off events. Like you've got the WSK races, the European Championship, and then the World Championship. The WSK races are more like the American race, I would say. Like there's more races in a season. So if you have a bad race, you can like kind of write that off, and like as long as your other races are good, you're still in for a shot for the championship. Whereas like the European Championship, if you have one bad round, you're out of it. So and then the World Championship is just one weekend. So I don't know what's happening with Pauly.
What are you guys doing? Pauly, are you sending memes down to everybody? See, all right, hold on. We need to pause this right here. I need to explain something really, really bad. Every show that Pauly ever comes on, and I don't know if this is happening right now, this guy can't stay off his phone mid-show when he's looking down. He's texting different stuff to everybody. Are you sending stuff around? What are you cracking up about? You got to explain.
Nah, I was asking Garrison if he over text if he was playing Fortnite or if he was listening to the show.
Are we that bad already? I thought we were just starting. You got to give it a chance, Pauly.
I said one more thing after that topped it off, and it was not good.
You guys.
Wait, Xander, real quick. Did you get robbed while you were gone, or like what happened?
No. All my stuff's here. No, this is my new house that we moved into, me and Trevor, and a buddy of ours. I had to move out of the last place, so I don't have it set up yet. All right, I drove overnight last night. Got my bed set up. Here, I got like some stuff still here. Oh, wait, no, I can't turn it far enough. It's a bigger house. All right, I'm just in a different place. Okay, didn't get robbed.
He's got one helmet and a set of pedals. All he needs.
That's what I'm saying.
My Sim's over here. All right, here, I'll show you.
Surrounding on iRacing.
My Sim's right there. Yeah, but it's not ready.
Oh, yeah.
Up there are like the 3 trophies I've ever won. So we have those.
All the essentials right there, man.
There you
And a chair. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Chair, a water
I
bottle.
mean, Xander basically lives on the road anyway, so it's not like it really matters what his apartment looks like.
I mean, yeah, if you go by the dates, I moved in last Tuesday, so I should be normally set up here. I've been in Texas for 2 years, and I don't even know if it's been a full year of days here, but I mean, you guys know all that just as well. Marijn, why don't you show off your room? You're probably in some hotel room somewhere.
No, I'm with
Where
my
are you at?
girlfriend, so I'm not in my room. This is her room.
Oh. You're not even there for racing. You're just over on pleasure this week. Vacation.
Yeah, I'm on vacation, yeah. Finally.
When did you get a
okay.
girlfriend?
A couple months ago now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
All right, let's bring it back on topic a little bit now. Marijn, you're mentioning WSK, European Championship, World Championship. Can you go a little bit into detail for people that don't know necessarily what those mean? Because WSK, World Series Karting, just the differences between them, like what those mean for the viewers that don't understand, the European side of kart racing and stuff like that.
I mean, there's not much difference other than the name. Like the World Championship has that elite status of being a World Championship. It's just one round though, so if you have a bad weekend there or like something happens that's like out of your control, it's unlucky for you and you have to like try again the next year. The European Championship, it's 2 rounds, racing against all the same guys. Everyone that does the World Championship will be at the European Championship as well. It's not just for European drivers, it's for everybody. So you have 2 rounds, so there's a little bit more leeway, but there's no drop round. So if you have a bad round in either of those, you're done for as well. And then the WSK races, it's again against all the same people. All the factory guys go to that race or to those races. It's usually over 3 or 4 rounds. So a little bit more leeway. If you have a bad weekend, you can still recover. And yeah.
Well, speaking of bad weekends, everybody tried at least to give Ryan a bad one this weekend, especially on Saturday. We got a bit of a 2-on-1 war we had here in the chat. So Ryan and Austin, you guys go way back. How'd your conversations go after that Saturday final? Austin, let's go to you first. What was your side?
We never really chatted about it too much. I mean, we knew we weren't
really?
going to go and we knew we weren't going to go and take each other out. I mean, honestly, we go out to race it, try to win money. As long as we win some type of money, that's okay. I mean, unfortunately, I didn't, but I mean, literally, we didn't say anything at all. We knew we were always going to be neutral when we get off the racetrack, no matter what happens. We're not out here to ruin each other's race. But it was funny because after that race, or me when I go out there and I'm blocking and all that, it started the weekend before. And we were talking with my team and everything. They're like, hey, like, why are you not like going out there and blocking? Why are you not doing all this stuff? Why are you not racing against these other guys? I'm like, hey, listen, I'm just trying to get the go-kart to be correct. I'm like, we're not fast right now. I'm not trying to burn up my tires and waste time and all that. And then in the final on Sunday, they were like, you know what? You guys need to go on race mode. It's called race mode, laser focused race mode. I'm like, okay. I'm like, if I'm going to race hard, I'm going to race hard. And so after that, I started in like 10th or something and made my way up behind Ryan. Ryan like did a little double take on the straightaway. He's like, how'd you get all the way up here? I'm like, it was race mode, bro. That's why. So that's why you see on the comments and everything on Instagram, and one of us commented race mode, that means race mode. So I'm white lining driving. How I'm driving that's activated. And me and him have a little inside joke about it, which is pretty funny.
So it was race mode. I don't know, Ryan. You didn't seem like you were laughing when you came off the track after some of those finals there, the way you were getting raced on race mode.
No, I mean, I thought it was all right. I mean, I said it in the last podcast. I've been waiting for people to race me like that all year. And I'm surprised Austin, who's like one of my closest friends at the racetrack, was the one to do it. Like, I don't blame him. I mean, I would race if Austin was doing what I'm doing. I would engage race mode immediately. I mean, it would be race mode every practice. So I think I snapped him afterwards and was like, yo, race mode was a little dicey out there. Like, at least don't put me in the grass next time, But it's all good. I mean, I actually had fun doing it. I mean, no one crashed. I mean, I think if I would have gotten taken out or something, I'd be pretty upset. But, I mean, it made for good content. The video is going to go up tomorrow, so I'm happy about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Martin, you had a little bit of race mode in the Sunday shifter, man. What was going through your head when Andrew started blocking for Jake? I mean, you missed the whole thing. Jake seemed like it rattled him a little bit more.
Yeah, I was lucky to just get away from it immediately. I knew Andrew was going to race me hard. Like, he was telling me all week he was going to take me out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to see you in that corner. Like, be careful in lap 1, that corner." I didn't even know where he was starting. So yeah, I was like, "Oh, good luck, have fun, and like I'll see you when you come around." And then on Sunday, he finally did. He threw it in pretty hard on lap 1, and I chose to drive off the track there because I didn't want to crash and I didn't want to get hurt. So I just pulled it into the grass a little bit, took my time to get forwards again, and then I was lucky enough that he started racing Jake the same way he was racing me. So I could get by both of them. And then Jake got like the rougher end of it. But hey, it's racing, I suppose. It made some good content as well for you guys.
Yeah, we got some good stuff out of it. I mean, it was like the same thing, Road America with Ryan. He gets Hayden behind him. This time it was Donovan got up behind him, and then there's a blocker, and then all of a sudden, no one can hit him anymore. He's got a full army that the block. Did you buy any of those kids lunch whenever they get in between you, so none of these guys can go race mode on you, Ryan? Do you do anything for them? You make them do you give them an ice cream sandwich at the end of the day?
So there was last week, Donovan, the week before the race at the practice weekend, we were going down the straightaway, and it was like a drag race between me and Marijn. And Paul pulled, I pulled to the outside of Marijn, and Paul started
and they
pushing
both cleared me.
And we were both, like, I had cleared Marijn, and then Paul was on his way, and then Donovan came up and pushed Marijn, and then pushed him right
Broke
back.
my neck. I think that's why I hurt my neck.
That's what it is.
It came so much quicker. And we all came in and we're like, Donovan, like, of all the people, you're hoping to win. We got him a PSL sticker. And we're like, since you want to race with them so bad, here you go. But then this week, I think it was with Austin. Austin went down and blocked, and I got to the outside. And Donovan started with Austin and then bailed on Austin and moved up and started pushing me. And I came in and was like, dude, good job. That's what we need.
That was so messed up. As soon as I came out of the hairpin, normally somebody would kind of go and follow somebody's on the inside going to the next corner. I got a bump. I'm like, all right, we're going. And Ryan was back here. Then we ended up going like that, me passing Ryan. Next thing you know, I stopped having my 94 horsepower gain behind me. So he pulled out and passed Ryan. Ryan almost cleared me going to that hairpin there, but I was not letting that slide.
Yeah, that's why I had him. I had like I think I did clear you, but I was like, dude, Austin, he's race mode. Like, this isn't happening. Not on race mode. So I was like, I got to give him a lot of space here because he's going to race mode me off the racetrack. So,
well, speaking of race mode, for Supernats 25, SKUSA's going big. Sounds like the purses are going to be bigger than they have been ever before. They're trying a bunch of different. What are you shaking your head at?
The year after
said that when he won, he only got $3,000.
The year after I won, I got $3,000. Are you kidding me? $3,000?
And he's not going to win it this year because everybody's going to put him in the wall.
Oh, for sure. That's why I'm so mad. I'm like, really? The 1 year?
Well, maybe it's a start. Format for the week. I think we talked about this on a previous show, Ryan, and I think, Pauly, you may have been on that one too with the open quali session, right? Where they had it was kind of like a super poll to qualify in, but everybody just waited the whole time, right? So to do something like that, need I don't know, multiple sets. I don't know if you change anything with the format. I don't know exactly what you could do. Maybe you could do like an IndyCar type group qualifying where there's stages or something, but I mean, stuff to make that event different besides throwing more money into Ryan's freaking rent payments. I'm not sure what else we can really change a whole lot. You know, Marijn, you've seen the Europe guys are pretty standard with it, but you come over, run Supernats. You were actually running for 10 grand. Didn't get 10 grand yet, you know, but you that's actually a good story before we get into this with idea going from the story you told me at the end of the Newcastle weekend. Are you down to tell that one about last year?
What happened last year?
When you the bet on you.
Oh yeah. When my team owner bet against me. Yeah. So
it's not the first time they did that to me too. So that's not the
They
first
did?
time this has happened.
That
Yeah,
makes me
when
feel
you
a
came
little
to
better.
the US, when you came to the US, they're like, "Who's gonna out qualify you?" And everybody bet Marijn. I was like, "Are you
Oh,
kidding
but that's
me?"
different. That was different.
How?
So
They all-
so
They were
Ronnie
betting for him.
So Ronnie Sala and Dom from the PSL boss made a bet. Ronnie said I was going to win the race this year, and then Dom said no, Marijn's going to finish second again. And I ended up finishing second again. So when I came back into the tent, I walked up to Dom. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like second again." And he's like, "Oh, no problem. Like, this is the best second you've could have gotten, like best place you could have gotten." I'm like, "Huh? What do you mean?" He goes, "I made a bet with Ronnie. You made me a lot of money today." So yeah, great. Good for the
That's
confidence. That one.
been 3 years in a row you've gotten second now, right?
Yeah, 3 years running.
Just keep on twisting the knife right on.
Yeah.
Some
So I thought
movie.
on the announcement for SKUSA's money, they said that it was a 4-minute qualifying session.
Is that what they're doing? I haven't looked at
4
it.
minutes is that's like borderline USPK. That's less than USPKS.
It
But
depends
that's
on
what
the
we
length
did.
of the track, I
This
suppose.
weekend was 5 so you guys only got 4 laps at full speed. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
put
but
out
that's
3 or 2.
but we got 4 laps because they split the groups. Like we had 30 guys split in half. So it's 15 guys on the racetrack, and nobody really like messed around to bother getting a position. Like we all just kind of went
Went
out.
out there and
So it was
went,
like
yeah.
USPKS. But there was one KA session where they did fight for position. They got 2 laps. So it's like, if it's like Vegas, which normally Vegas is like that, where it's just a mayhem, it's going to be like 2 laps, and it's going to be cold as well. So it's going to be, I mean, that format in itself is going to be very, very, very exciting.
Okay, yeah, I see that now. Let's see. Grading process. Yeah, it is 4 minutes. They're gonna do slow half, fast half. I'm trying to understand what they said here. So it looks like okay, all right, yeah, no, yeah, it seems like they're gonna try and go down to 20 carts on track by the way this thing splits, and do 4 groups for the big classes and 2 groups for the smaller classes with the shorter.
Still 20
route.
carts, like of the top guys. I mean, nobody's letting anybody follow them. You're going to putt around for at least 2 or 3 laps. You're going to have a lot of like other groups, the slower groups, just because they got their tires warmed up a little faster and had probably more laps, are probably going to end up like somewhere inside the top group of guys, because it's going to be, it's a 47-second lap, 50-second lap. I mean, everybody's
They're not
playing
changing the track again?
Well, that's like the average is normally like 47, 50 seconds.
Yeah, they
Last
haven't
couple
they haven't
years.
done the layout for it. I'm sure it'll be a little bit different this year. I don't know
hope
where
so.
they're at with the process, but yeah, I would imagine they're going to change it a little bit, because the last year was a completely different Rio than what we'd run in the years that we'd like finished up over there, which I thought was decent. I mean, it wasn't. It seems like they like doing the full speed start into a 90 and then a couple switchback hairpins after that for the start sequence, which is better at least for the single speed stuff than the years before where it was a 180 right off the bat, you know. For the swing out, we'd like clean out 3 guys on the outside lane, kind of like how it was, at Newcastle this weekend with the starts. But yeah, 4 minute qualies. Looks like they might drop it down to as many as 20 in a group, but I mean that could be true. It could be just three laps for all of them, but no super pole. Seems like I think that the watches were cool. The watches are going to come back. But yeah, I mean, normal 3 heats, LCQ, and the only thing you can really do with it is messing with qualifying. I don't know, but yeah, that's a good point, Ryan. If the guys mess around a little bit, even with 20 of the top guys going, where it'll have a shakeup in the heat, so that would be great.
Yeah, I mean,
for us.
there's not a lot you can really do with the format. I mean, the format works because it works. You know what I mean? It's not a bad format. It's a good format. Like, everybody likes it. It's going to be back at the Rio, so it's obviously going to be more exciting. But yeah, I mean, the only thing that you could do is switch up that qualifying like they did. But the previous years, it just ends up the same exact way. I mean, we all wait till 6 minutes before, then we go out. So, I mean, 4 minutes. I mean, everybody's going out when the light goes green. I mean, that's crunch time, and everybody's got to figure it out. The one thing that it does work is, like, at least the Americans that have been here before do have an advantage because we do the USPKS style qualifying every other race. So for us, it's kind of, I thought about that. I'm like, honestly, it probably works towards all of our favor because we're used to that. We're used to going out and doing 3 burners and then pulling in immediately. So yeah, probably won't be too bad for the Americans.
Yeah, hopefully not. Well, let's go back on the American side then. We know where the USPKS series is going next year. Do you guys have some favorite tracks you'd like to see the SKUSA Pro Tour go to? Pauly, I always get told by my dad I never give you enough airtime. So let's have you kick off this topic here. Tracks you'd want to see the Pro Tour go to in 23.
I don't really know tracks that I'd want them to go to. I think I know where they're going to go. Just on, I don't know, just on contracts and stuff like that. They're definitely not going to Utah again. I can tell you that. But I think they're going to go. They're going to go NOLA again, start off, which I love NOLA, so I'm good with that. And then I think they're going to go to K1 if everything gets done in time and stuff like that. I think they're going to swing out over there and go to K1. And then obviously they're going to finish it off at Newcastle again. That's my guess. I mean, yeah. I like Newcastle, I like NOLA, and then I'd be excited to go to a new track and go over to California.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the way out there. The place looks pretty sick. Austin, any old tracks from years past you'd like to see a national race come back to?
Maybe have like a SKUSA go to like Orlando. Maybe I really like Orlando. I think it's a really great track. Besides that, I mean, maybe it'd be cool if they go and run it at like Mooresville. Everybody likes Mooresville. It's a fun track, fast track. That'd be a cool area to go and do it as well. But besides that, I mean, I really don't know. I like NOLA. I think Indy is a pretty cool track, even though a lot of times we run at the same layout. This past weekend was different. I don't think I've ever drove it that way. I thought it was pretty fun, a little bit more difficult, obviously. But besides that, I mean, just those couple of tracks, that's about it.
Marijn, we don't even know if you'll be back stateside next year. I'm not sure where sometimes week to week or where you end up racing. You didn't know you're racing shifter until about the day before. But having run a bunch of different racetracks here, what about is there anyone stuck out in the U.S. that's kind of something you really like?
I mean, I really like Sonoma, so I think that's my favorite one. But there's no way SKUSA's going to go there with the contracts and everything. So yeah, I don't really know where they should go.
Yeah, we got some love here for Sonoma. I mean, I think everybody liked that. Obviously, that we talked about it a few times. That was the kickoff of what should have been Karting's Drive to Survive series. Was that race weekend with you two knuckleheads pissing everybody off and then going to Newcastle?
The goat. I said he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He was the original Donovan and Paul and Hayden and everybody that pissed everybody off. He was the guy that pushed Ryan away. So Marijn actually kicked off.
He didn't need teammates. He just needed me, just one.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now I need 8 people to do what one man could do. That says a lot about Marijn.
But you wanted with a bigger margin this year, right? When you wanted with me, it was only 4 points.
Yeah. I think by 340 points, I think.
Yeah. Rub it in again.
Yeah, unreal. Yeah, we don't worry. We have the stats pulled up right here. Hold on. Yeah, first.
Bro, you chose the worst photo of me. I swear, bro. Every time I
That is not a bad.
They did that on
How much
purpose.
forehead can you have in a photo, dude? Like that's all
I have
forehead.
worse.
My eyes are tinted because my forehead's so large. Like, what? And then look at the shadow of my chin. It's like a freaking duckbill. Like, what is going on?
Let's see what the guys.
I'm pretty
picked
sure
out
your
for-
girlfriend still commented it.
I think
Yeah,
she
yeah.
did, but it was also like, what was that, man?
Marijn got a good pick right here.
Whoosh.
Yeah,
I had
that's a good one, man.
I had a bad indie round.
Pauly just looks like Pauly right here. I don't think that's more of a
I like
personality.
Literally the same exact face.
That looks good.
I think that's actually Kyle Larson in that photo.
Those stats are pretty good this year. Holy.
I don't have anything for Austin. He's running up. See, look, they did Jeremy, right? I mean, there's some personality.
That's a good
shots in there.
picture.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But what is that photo, man? I mean, I swear to I looked at that. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. There's so many better photos. You choose that one.
With the helmet on.
But yeah, with the helmet on, it's way better. I mean, you don't have to choose one where I look like Darth Vader or something. Like, what the hell?
I mean, we run out of ones, you know. I literally have to tell Sean at the beginning of the weekend, like he goes and he shoots, and then when you go like P1 through practice, like 3 sessions, I'm like, all right, Sean, we got to go take another round of pictures again. So you don't make it easy. We have to go through. We have to use the ugly ones. We run out of stuff. I mean, we're a Ryan Norberg fan page at this point.
Hey, Fra loves it, so keep it going.
This one already came in right here. I mean, this is from Ace Screen Printing. Congrats, Ryan, on the championship. But since no one gave him a good bumper, are you expecting to bump a Supernats? I think you already talked about it. You're expecting to kiss the wall here this year, right? Instead of kissing the bricks.
I mean, I hope not, but
There's more money on the line than last year.
to say I'm not, I don't have it in the back of my head is a lie. I think it's going to be very difficult to stay out of it this year. But if I can be fast enough, hopefully, at least I can make it to the final before I see the wall. So I want to get my hopes up.
Yeah, we've seen big guys miss the show. Austin, you had one really rough year. That one year you missed it. Did you get wrecked a whole lot?
I think the one year I didn't make it, I was on the Rolison chassis, which was not good. There was 2 chassis going to pick from. We made a bad call, then we stuck with it. But besides that, I've had other times where I was running in the top 5 and I had decent qualifyings and all that. But every single time when the green flag flies, somebody goes flat out right in the back of me at the start, and I never make it around corner 1 every time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Austin's every year is a bad
Every
year.
year.
He gets
Got
taken out
annihilated
literally all the
every
time.
year. Yep.
It's the standard.
Normal.
Did we crash together one year? I think it was like when I was with Burrell. I was towards the back, and I remember coming through one, and like you and I were there, and we're just like, dude,
Yeah, we both got annihilated. We were just bringing up the rear, high-fiving each other when we got off. We're like, this shit's not good.
Yeah, one of Mario's mechanics over the weekend was what is the data guy for PSL was talking about all the sports betting he was doing. And if we ever did that, I think Austin, you're the guy I would put $1,000 on to get chunked in turn 1 because you're like
out in corner 1. Just
on
no
the
matter
start.
who it is.
I think
You could
Austin
start
had
anywhere.
bet on that.
Yeah, you started top 10 like 2 of those times. You started like top 10, and just you're the one guy that gets like spun out on the outside because they've been even cleaner in the last few years.
Tried to go and rip a spark plug boot off, shocked me and everything. That was so. There's a video of that somewhere.
You got shocked when you pulled it off?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if the boot was broke or something, but I went and grabbed it and just shocked me like
Well,
real
the guy's
hard.
still in the gas. I mean, it's still pumping.
Yeah, he was trying to drive away. I remember that now. That was funny. When you wrecked you're out of the cart starting to Did you start to disconnect or did you go straight for the boot when you got out of the coach?
Straight. I didn't know what happened. I think I said something. I went straight for the boot and touched my finger on it, and that was the last thing I've ever did. It hurt. Yeah, it was not good.
Oh man. We'll take another commercial break. We'll answer a few more questions when we come back, talk a little bit more about what we got coming up here and give everybody the chance to kind of highlight what they got coming on forward and a few more storylines we haven't hit on yet, but we're getting to that time. So Advlog number 2 is coming up. We'll be right back after this.
At New Gen Motorsport, we're committed to using our 10 plus years of experience and knowledge to help grow the sport of karting from the bottom up. Our goal is to make karting more accessible to the average person, lessening the financial burden of getting started, and making the learning curve as small as possible. Our passion is training and developing drivers, mechanics, and engineers to not only be the best they can be in karting, but also for careers in the much larger world of professional motorsports. A strong foundation makes building bigger easier. Let us be that foundation for your karting and motorsports career. Be part of the new generation of motorsport. Contact us today to schedule your test day, arrive and drive race event, or to inquire about how we can help get you started in your own new-gen racing kart.
Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex Rock engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jecco Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com.
Looking to join one of the fastest growing kart clubs in the United States? Check out the Mississippi Karters Association. Located at the legendary Spring Ridge Raceway in Jackson, Mississippi, the MKA and Drive Your Line Kart Shop have already kicked off their 2022 year with a massive increase in drivers and some awesome racing. Even if you don't have a kart yet, you can get involved by checking out the Drive Your Line Kart Shop, which is an official dealer of Comp Kart, Tillotson, and Margate chassis, as well as Briggs & Stratton, Tillotson, Yamaha, and IAMI engines. If you're a new, returning, or current racer, the MKA and Drive Your Line Kart Shop can help you get in the seat and on the track in the central Mississippi region. Check them out online on Facebook or at misskarting.com and driveyourline.com. From 4-stroke to 100cc to 125cc and beyond, TechnoKart USA has a winning option for you. Based out of Des Plaines, Illinois, TechnoKart USA offers both chassis designed to win in all divisions of North American karting and a top-level race support program at the US Pro Kart Series, Route 66 Sprint Series, select Cup Karts North America races, and both the Rock Vegas and SKUSA Super Nationals. Podiums, wins, and championships are waiting for you whenever you're ready to get on a TechnoKart. For more information, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/TechnoKartUSA.
All right, so when we come back here from my empty room and bring everybody back in, now that we've gotten through most of the way through the U.S. season, we've gotten through the SKUSA Pro Tour, talking about some of the other guys we don't have on this show. From your guys' perspective on the racetrack, whether it's X30 or shifter or both, in the case of Marijn, but talking to the guys we don't have on this show, kids that have stuck out to you as a kind of an improvement, whether or not on the year or kind of came along. You know, if you had to pick out one standout driver from the year that's not in this room, who would you have? Aaron, who do you got as someone that stuck out to you here in 2022 that's deserves some recognition?
I mean, I'm going to go with my rookie pick from the last week's podcast and Frankie Mossman. He, like I said before, like he just built up momentum every weekend. He finally got a podium. It was in KA, but he finally got a podium. He was running up front all weekend. He looked super strong. And so he looked phenomenal, honestly. That's be my pick as like the standout driver is somebody that I was a little iffy on at the start of the year, really started to show himself as a strong driver as we've gotten later on in the season.
Austin, let's go outside your team here. Obviously, Jack Jeffers and Cameron Weinberg have been impressive this year. Any other guys really stuck out to you as really stepping up their game this season?
This season, I'm not really sure. I mean, just like how Aaron was saying, Frankie has done a really great job of running up front more. Still, a lot of these young drivers that I go and see, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people will go and agree with me. They do make a lot of mistakes. When they're out in front, you know, they're in the lead, they can run a fast lap, but definitely drivers still are making a lot of errors. So in my eyes, if you're in senior, you know, for a couple of years and you're still having issues racing like that, you know, that just makes it twice as hard to go and actually go and win. But I definitely seen great pace on Frankie. He did really, really well. But besides that, not too much.
Yeah, low key, as much hate as I give Frankie, he did a good job on Saturday. And in our race, he raced me nice and respectfully. And I was expecting to get doored, but he didn't. And he crossed me up one time too. So I was like, wow, I mean, like, that was a good, solid race. He made a few mistakes, and I talked to him afterwards, gave him a little advice. But yeah, Frankie, as much as that pains me to say that sometimes, he did do a good job on Saturday. I mean, I don't know what happened in the final. I saw him on the start, and then that was it. But everything else, I mean, on Saturday, it seemed like he did a good job.
Yeah. Well, and Sunday he got the lead from you in the pre-final too. Sunday he was running.
He crossed me. I mean, like I made a pass and like I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm like, oh, Frankie, come on. And so I made a pass and he straight up just over-undered me, and I was like, dang, like that was bad. Like I was bad on my end. Like I just got lazy with the pass, and so like I had to actually like hold him up on the outside, and I had to defend. Like I actually had to like race him, which normally I don't have to do. And so it was like, Frankie, that was a good step forward. But like Austin said, a lot of these kids, you know, they're coming up and they're making headway. A lot of our guys are making headway, and like that's probably who I would say obviously are all our team drivers that have been working really hard. But comes down to mistakes. I mean, I think that's the biggest problem for a lot of these guys, even the better drivers. The faster drivers, they just make a lot of mistakes. And when you're doing it, racing against like guys like Austin, Marijn, and I, and Pauly, I mean, we've been in it for 14 plus years, each of us. You know, we each have our own amount of time. We don't make a lot of mistakes. So there's a lot of mistakes that get made by a lot of these younger drivers that need to be cleaned up.
Well, we talked right before the beginning of the year about some of the rookies coming in, you know, and we talked a lot about Jeremy Fletcher and the year he's had. We had the stat sheet up here just a minute ago that I could pull up here again. He ended up, from what I can tell, I think he ended third in the standings unofficially with the way the points and the drops kind of factor out. I think he got the upper hand on Pauly by about 50. So I think Pauly ends fourth in the final standings. But we talked at the beginning of the season of some of the junior drivers who you can kind of bully your way, you know, to win races, even when the pace isn't there. He said, you know, what do you guys think, having run against him all year? Pauly, you were teammates with him from a weekend. But Ryan, let's go to you first, building off that point. I mean, that kid, from what you saw him running an X30 junior to racing against him this year, do you see a different driver in him? Do you see like he's kind of one of those guys who has progressed even as the year's gone on?
Jeremy, I mean, I think for sure he's progressed. I think he probably came into senior with a little bit of that same attitude, which I have to clarify. Jeremy and KA versus Jeremy and X30 are two different drivers. Jeremy and KA has a lot more swagger, has a lot more confidence, drives a lot better, makes less mistakes. Jeremy and X30 is not the same driver. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think he just needs to still improve on the X30 stuff. But I don't understand why in KA he has so much confidence. Like his passes are better. His racing's a lot smarter in KA. And then X30 he seems to struggle. So, yeah, I mean, I think he still has some places to go in X30. I mean, he's a good driver. His speed's a lot better. At the beginning of the year, I think his driving's progressed. And, like, obviously I've raced him here and there, and he's getting faster and getting, like, even on your results, like, he won the first race of the year, obviously, but, like, he was consistent throughout the year, which was good. And that shows, like, maturity and getting better. But I will say, when I watch him in KA, so much more confidence, so much more poise. He doesn't handle things at all the same way that he does in X30, which I find strange because it's the same kid. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, advice from somebody who's been in it before, like, just drive like you do in KA. Like, that works. Like, you drive with way more confidence, like, a lot more in control of everything. I don't know what the difference is.
He doesn't have to go up against your guys in KA.
That's true, but
I mean, not to be like mean to like the RPG boys, but some of them drivers are just, they make a lot of mistakes and then still like pull you out of the corner and everything. And like it does something to your confidence, especially if you're not like just coming into the class. I think Jeremy in KA is like unstoppable almost. Like he's so fast, he's so flowing, and then he's racing X30, which is on a different set of like a different tire. So I think that's what like is messing with him. He's like, oh, maybe I have to drive it differently or like anything like that, because he sees guys making mistakes and still pulling away from him. So I think that's might be helping.
I understand that. I don't disagree with that, but the unfortunate part is like, in the end of the day, which is what I tell my drivers, because they always complain, they're like, oh, you have so much more experience. I'm like, in the end of the day, you unfortunately still have to race me, and you still have to race our guys. So they're still there. They're always going to be there. You know, like the mistakes are what cost you. And again, it's a confidence thing for me. When I raced Jeremy in X30, like I raced him in KA and in X30. The KA driver I raced against was really difficult to race against. He made smart moves. He was aggressive at times where he needed to be aggressive. And then the Jeremy that I raced in X30, which granted, you know, it's a different level for RPG because that's kind of our bread and butter. But I did race with a different guy. Like it's not the same level of confidence. Like I went into both weekends with the same idea in my mind, and I just feel like he drives a lot more confidence in KA, if that makes sense. Like he just attacks more and is a lot more.
It makes sense because like that pre-final, we DNF'd, him and I both DNF'd in the pre-final on Saturday, and we were coming our way through the field, and I ended up going off track when I was in P like 7 or 8 or whatever, and he ended up going all the way to second before he went off track the first time. Which is like he coming from the back, he had all the confidence in the world, and like he believed he belonged up front. So all of those drivers in front of him, he had no idea. Like he's like, I need to be better than you guys, so I need to beat you. So like you guys follow me, which is what he does in KA, and maybe not all the time in X30. That's right, but I think it comes from like seeing drivers making mistakes in front of you and still pulling away from you.
How did you guys get knocked off at the start of that pre-final? I heard it was Ryan that pushed you guys off.
Accident.
100% Ryan's fault. He brake checked the whole field and we crashed.
It was an accident. It was an accident.
Yeah.
I went out, started in the wrong lane, then jumped over to the right lane and kind of surprised the outside row, which...
Yeah, and it's made Jamie brake, which made Petra hit Jamie, which made Jamie spin, which I crashed into.
Good job.
So, Ryan's fault.
My bad.
5-time champ right there.
Well, I mean, granted,
Never makes a mistake.
I did get a 10-second penalty for it. So I actually went up to the stewards and they were like, we don't think we're going to give you a penalty for it. And I was like, really? And then later on, they're like, yeah, you're getting a penalty. I'm like, I completely understand. Like, that makes total sense. Because I went up, they're like, we need to see you. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't mean to. They're like, oh, we don't think we're going to give it to you. I'm like, really? And then I was like, later on, I'm like, okay, I get it. Makes complete sense. So. Yeah, I mean, I really messed up. That was.
I thought they were pretty on point with the officiating this weekend. I think the Saturday main. You know, Austin, you got hit with the book.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was. Come on.
Yeah, that was kind of overdoing it. It's a little bit.
You took out the wrong. Like, if you took out me, I understand, but you took out Ramos. It was like. You need him.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been a good guy to use.
Were you just seeing red at that point, Austin, when you got into Ramos? Because trust me, man, my heart sank. I saw you chop Ryan. I was like, yeah, we got like 5 more laps before the race gets boring. And then Ramos is bouncing through the dirt out of turn number 3. And I'm like, damn it. Like,
bro, the guy
was so stoked.
Starts off of Ramos, like a good amount back. And I'm passing Austin through the grass. And then he holds me off. And then I'm like, we're in the braking zone, and he just decides he's sending it on 2 from like 5 carts back.
Yeah, it was so far back.
On.
Yeah, it was definitely a super late move on my part. I mean, I was just saw Ryan try to go and pass me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just full send at this point. So I went down to the inside. Yeah, it was full race mode. So I before the corner, I kind of hit his back right tire. He got a little bit loose, and then I just went in and finished him off. It was a pretty wasn't the best of my abilities, but I definitely did that, and thank God he didn't go and fall too far back. I mean, I kind of felt bad after the fact, but anyways, got up front, and then next thing you know, that's when I was in race mode, white lining that thing everywhere.
Yeah, I was on the camera outside of the front straight, so I was to driver's left as you came out of turn 1. I had a great view of the entire thing, and you caught me completely off guard with that pass. Like, I was getting ready for the camera to like keep going. I'm like, oh no, we've got something else I got to get back to over there because I was ready for you guys just keep going like normal.
Terrible.
Yeah,
it was a great clip. We got good stuff from it. Ryan got good stuff from it. Pauly, were you on race mode at all this weekend, would you say? Because, I mean, you ended up with the wall. So is there a wreck mode too?
Nah, I didn't engage the race mode this weekend, unfortunately. I got screamed at pretty hard for it after the pre-final on Saturday, and I was like, oh boy, this is not good.
But Sunday's final, you were cooking, like, because I was coming out of the hairpin. Well, you were coming down there, and like you were like, there's one lap I could have swore it was like 4/10.
Oh, I was rolling.
Faster. I mean,
I was
you
doing
were
like 105
really fast.
flats on lap 6. I was coming.
For sure, dude.
And then, we wanted to race for 10th. So we started, I got through, and then, I just get stuffed right away. And then we just start blocking it. I'm like, great, there goes that front pack. And then, I'm just driving, and I'm just, trying to beat these guys in front of me. And I'm just like, yep, it's great. But no, race mode was not engaged until I feel like the Sunday final, because I tried to go around the outside, didn't really work, and then I was pissed, so I started wheeling that thing, and then that's about it.
Talking about outside passes. Pedro Hildebrand, he did some pretty crazy outside passes. I'm not gonna lie. Like my nature is obviously go to the inside when everybody's blocking, and then I just see this white red machine just pass clear 4 people on the outside sideways, and then it comes out and it ends up getting 2 people. He did it like 3 different times. Passed me on the outside. I'm down on the inside blocking, think I'm gonna come out. Okay, we're all in a line and all that, but Pedro was just going crazy. I mean, kudos to him. I think that guy is definitely one of the best drivers in the whole world, and just to go and see his abilities to change differently and different situations on the racetrack. He's definitely a really good guy to go and learn from and go and watch very closely at what he does, because his natural talent is different than a lot of drivers on the racetrack, I think.
Yeah, that dude's a beast.
The way he passed me on Sunday, when he passed me in the pre-final, I was like, damn. That was nice. And I was like, you know what? You deserve that. Keep going.
You got passed by him on the outside as well?
Nah, I was turning in for the corner, and he came out of nowhere, and I was just like, all right.
Because I think I did you on the outside in the pre-final.
Nah, he passed me on the inside going to the cell tower, but I was like kind of blocking, and he like just did me so dirty, and I was like, you know what? All right. And then we go down and go into cell tower, and he just blasts around the outside of someone. I forgot who it was, and he just sticks it. I'm like, God, I want to be that guy.
That was something I noticed this weekend with the racing. Like, I don't know if it's just going backwards, because you usually don't see that in Newcastle. There were a ton of people making outside moves in like I-70 and scoreboard and cell tower. Like, all the time, I felt like we were just seeing somebody just like go deep on the brakes around the outside, make that pass, and they pick up like 3 or 4 spots from it on a start. And we usually
like
don't
if
see
you're
that, but it was everywhere.
But if you're in a group of 5 people and everybody's blocking, like the guy in 5th is going to brake so much earlier than you would do on the outside. So if you're in 6th, you might as well just try it.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I just didn't think it was going to happen, because we usually don't see that as much, especially in Newcastle. That wasn't something we usually saw.
The blocking was insane this week, I felt like.
Mm-hmm. And then the track really, like, because those hairpins are so slow that like you really have to park it. That when you get on the outside, I mean, you ride the cushion and you get like you just carry more speed. Like you come off, you're in the power band, and everybody else is still like below the power band and trying to get up to it. You can pick out too. The dangerous part is that you just get like Austin on the exit of the corner where they just door you sometimes. Like you can do it, and like it's just really like dangerous. Like I did it once in the final. I think I got 2 spots out of it, but like the whole time I was like, oh, I'm getting shipped. Like for sure I'm getting knocked off. And I did. I dropped 2 tires, but it wasn't. I mean, they come up and they can just run you straight off. So it is really dangerous. I mean, you can do it, but it is difficult.
Yep, risk for reward, definitely in doing that.
Yeah, the scoreboard hairpin had a lot of it this weekend, and that one has like an obnoxiously like long braking zone. Because I don't know if it was talking to you, Ryan, or someone, because the rubber's backwards, going that way. Even when you guys lay down rubber on the test weekend, like there's like no grip going through that whole corner going that way. So like you guys are braking like crazy early for the scoreboard. I think that's where Pedro got a bunch. We got good views. That was sick. I remember he caused you some headaches at Vegas last year, Ryan, when he was racing with you guys in the heats.
Yeah, I mean he did me. He didn't in the final, surprisingly, which. Like honestly, Pedro hasn't raced me that hard. Surprised, whenever I catch him, he just waves me by. So like, I really like racing Pedro. He's like a killer driver, but like every time I catch him, he waves me by, which I understand. Like he's like, that's not worth it.
It's because he's not annoyed by your speed yet.
Yeah,
because he doesn't race you all the time.
That's probably it. But he just like
because he just thinks, oh, Ryan's faster, so I'll just follow him and like get away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah.
Whereas like everybody here just thinks like, fuck Ryan, he's way too fast. Like he needs to crash.
I understand. I mean, I completely get it. But yeah, he's a good talent. I'm glad he's been here more. It's been like I think the talent pool has been pretty good this year. Like I feel like a lot of the better drivers, the more upfront drivers, obviously like Jarch Crack kind of quit, and there's a bunch of other guys that have kind of cycled out. But I'm happy that we've kept like some good drivers. I mean, there's quite a few paid drivers in the series, which you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, which again, if we get more purses like what Supernats is supposed to be, hopefully more of that's coming, right? I mean, we talked about that last show. We talked about that every show. We talk about how if we can get some money, that's what makes it where the guys.
Dalton had some good points last week.
Dalton
he had some good points last week.
Dalton needs a muzzle. Dalton's going to get us in trouble again. We end up in the doghouse like every week. Not a lot of viewers know it. I always get pulled in. Actually, I have one thing to add on to that. Well, I don't know how to phrase this. I was going to make another WKA joke so that way I'd get a phone call tomorrow morning, but I completely forgot what I was going to go with it. But I was going to rag on him again because that's just funny to me. But they're putting up money this year, for 206 at KA, but they're putting some money up for Daytona. So I can't rag on them too much. Back to the shifter stuff really quickly. We'll go through a few more of the viewer comments that came in before we wrap up here and Ryan goes and gets himself his Chick-fil-A. Brian McHattie is in the chat and was talking here. Marion, what did you think? I mean, you saw Jake and Andrew getting after it. I have to imagine this is what he's talking about here. Said it's a shame to see the horrendous racecraft at the front of the senior field. Watching last weekend, especially at the front of the KZ field, was a joke. I expect more from KZ drivers. I mean, if you watch some of the, especially some of the World Championship races, I mean, we've seen Pauly DeCanto, one guy I can think of that like at the KZ World titles a couple of years ago when it was one of the Pex brothers in the lead and Paulo was on a CRG, and I don't know if it was Artigo or one of the other OTK guys. First, just to make sure the CRG won the race. It wasn't like the team signaled to him. Paulo went on his own, dive bombed the Tony Kart in second and pushed him off. So I'm sure stranger to the team order stuff or just guys kind of ganging up on each other. What did you think of Mr. Magic doing that in the final? Did you think that was out of place?
I mean,
what do you think?
I didn't think it was too horrendous or anything like that. I mean, Andrew was racing very hard, but he had been all week at that point, and then even the week before in the practice race, we were just there just to test, and I was my own mechanic. I would pull in early and everything, and he was racing very hard those races. So, I mean, it was to be expected. I don't think it was anything too crazy. Like, it wasn't smart racing, I wouldn't say, but it wasn't that like any takeoffs or anything like that. So, like, he allowed me to get away, and instead of letting Jake go, maybe because Jake was the faster driver, and then fighting with me, he ended up fighting with Jake and letting me drive away, which is like good for me. But like I said, maybe not the smartest racing, but it wasn't that bad, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I don't think it was crazy out bad. I mean, if there's anyone that knows, and Ryan's taken it well, of guys going right at him here this year. I mean, every single weekend it seems like it's gotten more. I felt like this. Did you feel like this weekend was up more, less, or in the center for the way you've been driven?
Well, I think it was up more. I mean, Austin definitely helped that one out a lot. But like the same as Marin, like I've been saying, I expect that. I've been more surprised that people haven't been doing that than have been doing that. And it's kind of one of those things. I mean, as much as we joke about me, but like Marin dominates the shifter stuff all year. And that's why I was coming in and telling him he's a cheater as well, because there's no way he could possibly win shifter by that much and he not be.
Yeah, and that's why on Sunday I disconnected my microphone and then I lost.
That's why I told you up, down, left, right. That's it. That's the cheat code right there. But basically, I mean, I expected. I just was surprised Jake. I don't know. I think someone needs to teach him how to move someone a little better. I know it's a little difficult in shifter, but he seemed a little too far back some of the times. And I was like, Jake, get up under his bumper. And then lift them up. You gotta get off the corner. But yeah, it was
that actually leads into really good. If I can highlight a comment here that I really liked here, Marijn, pushback bumpers in there. We're talking about getting under people a little bit. What's your thoughts been on pushbacks on shifter classes?
I mean, I don't really mind them, but I have my own reasons for that.
Won a world championship. It helps a lot.
That's not true, but yeah,
Well,
I
you
don't
won
mind
it
them that
afterwards, but
much.
it did help.
I won it anyway. What are you on about?
Yeah, you did. You won it fair and
Yeah.
square, but I'm saying the fact that it was there also helped.
No, because he had one. So if he wanted to move me, he would have moved me.
Oh, that's true. That's
Or
true.
if he could have moved me, he would have moved
I
me.
didn't think of that.
I think you should have. I remember watching that race. You chopped the hell out of him. I would have freaking full throttled you.
Yeah, but he's French, so they don't do
We
that.
saw a little bit of that this past weekend.
Yeah.
Full throttles off?
Ah,
That's not one
you
of
were
them.
on the other end of one.
that's not one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
No, like the pushback and shifter, like if somebody misses a shift or anything like that, it's such a penalty for no reason. Like you barely lose any time. Shifters, nobody really moves people, but I mean, if they're policed well, like in USPKS, I have no problem with them.
I think we should take them off for the Miami Grands All-Star X30 race for when it's down to like 13, 12 guys. I think we should remove them for that one because
make a disaster.
No, I'm serious. I mean, the whole reason we bring them in is because we were losing half the field or a third of the field at the start, or we couldn't see everything. We're going to get to see everything in that 12-driver field. If it's the way it was last year, it was only one pack we were watching all race. We can watch if someone does something bad. I think take them off. I mean, it didn't happen to anyone last year, but I mean,
yeah,
I
think
just want to see Ryan bully a 14-year-old again.
I feel like if you go and you do take those off, for that type of race, I mean, I feel like most of the drivers up front aren't going to go and try to take each other out. No matter, it wasn't even like that when me and Ryan raced and there was no pushback bumpers. The up front runners never really blasted each other off the racetrack. If you got moved, it was, it was like a proper, hey, you got pushed out the way and I got underneath you. You didn't get punted off the racetrack. I feel like the front running drivers is okay with running it like that, and I think also on the younger drivers running without the pushbacks, they have more anger that gets involved with them and they get and have this fire behind their eyes. Oh, well, you know what? This guy blocked me here or this guy passed me here. He keeps passing me back. I'm going to go and just flat out throttle him off the racetrack. What in theory, if they go and catch that you do just go and ruin this guy's race, even though he's ruining your race at times, you get a bigger penalty for that. So I feel like a lot of anger gets involved with younger drivers if we do go to a non-pushback bumper in that situation that you were describing.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's just I think it depends on how much money's on the line with not like with some of the drivers,
Yeah, but
I don't know. I feel like if you're riding in second and you can't get by and it comes down to the last lap and there's like shitload of money on the line, some
I mean that's fine, but I think it could still be caught, right? Like I'm not saying no race directing, no pushback bumpers, but like we'll have the spotlight on the only pack on the racetrack the whole race.
Just do NASCAR rules, man. If you got a problem after the race, you go backwards and you crash into the guy, and then you get out of your car and you fight them. That's what we need to do.
Crack
NASCAR
open
rules.
a bush light, shotgun
Yeah.
it, just go for the guy who hit you. Yep, there's a windmill.
Haymakers.
You set up the boxing ring at the Grands to settle all these fights that are going to happen.
See, that's
the problem. You can't.
That's no. I mean, maybe not. Maybe do an 18+ race, whatever. But Danny was saying because there's no shifter class, he was going to work on Raleigh to run X30 at Grands, and I already said this like 2 shows ago. If Danny's there, Danny's going to get. Everyone's going to be scared of Danny because if we're allowed to fight in the scales, that's the last guy I want to fight in the scale on.
Oh, you guys are complaining about a blocker now. Imagine Danny Formal being a blocker for me. That's you ain't going by.
I don't even be able to see you in front of him.
You're stuck in second.
We won't know where you are until you're already a second up the road. We won't be able to see you in front of him with your short ass.
Yeah, his center weight of gravity, he just barely hits you. You're flying like 3/4 miles away.
You go to punt him and you go backwards. That's what's gonna happen.
Literally.
That's the only way. If you're gonna crash Danny at Grands and you're allowed to have a boxing ring, you better finish him off. He needs to be like in pain,
run back to your trailer,
and then you need to run. You need to get out of there. Just skip the scale line, try and steal the money, and go home. And then don't tell anyone where you're going if you get it.
He will grab you by 2 fingers on the collar and just pick you up in the scales line if you do
Squash
any,
you like a
no
ball.
questions.
You're done.
Absolutely
You're
not.
done.
All right. Let's cap it off here with news where everybody's going for the next couple weeks. Give you guys some time to do some shout outs around. Pauly, what you got coming up you want to give some love to before we let you go?
I'm about to grind out some Fortnite and then do some coaching, I think. Bunch of on-track coaching. Now I got the CRG here, so I got to figure out how to work on it and run some laps in that thing, hopefully, if I can figure it out. And then I think I'm going to the beach next week, club race, and just, bunch of coaching. See how it goes.
Marijn, when you get done with your Romeo and Juliet vacation, where are you off to?
I'll be back to Europe doing the World Champs in the first week of September, and then hopefully returning back to the States as a 2-time champ.
It'd be pretty badass to have that. Obviously, it would add to Ryan's resume to beat you again with. All right, we're done with the horsepower jokes. We're not gonna add those on. Ryan, what do you got coming up, man?
Local race in Orlando, and it's kind of like the test weekend for the SSKC, which is pretty strong. I mean, Xander knows that those little local races before the SSKC get pretty big, so that's good. Then SSKC, and then we got a test weekend in Oregon with the whole team. So that's about a week and a half of shoveling bark dust and working at the ranch. So we got that, and then maybe another race somewhere else. I'm not sure yet. And then we're back in Greenfield, Indiana for 2 more weeks. So it's a busy August for me.
Austin,
Busy.
what about you? Well, you got the gamer lights in the back.
Yep. So actually this Thursday I go and leave to Amarillo for the TSRS race. When I get back, I'm going down to the Florida Keys to take a little week break. I'll be down the Keys for 5 days fishing. After that, probably going to go and do some testing, hopefully, to get ready and prepare for Indy for the USBKS race. And besides that, probably after we get off this call here, probably me, Ryan, and Pauly are going to go and play Fortnite till our fingers bleed, and we'll be ready to go.
Aaron, what you got, man? You're the last one here.
I've got Route 66 at Cincinnati this weekend, working with Austin Olds, and then I have 2 weekends off. One of them I have to go to a wedding for my girlfriend's friend, and then I have nothing going on for the first time in 3 months or whatever. And then after that, out to New Jersey for the Stars Championship Series race in New Jersey. And then that's all of August. One more route race at Joliet, and then we have get ready for US PKS at Newcastle, which I'll be tuning for Austin Olds again for. All this is Austin Olds. I only really work for him now. They employ me full time to work with him.
Sweet. Well, that covers a couple of the races we got coming up on the Kart Chaser side. We have 2 races we're streaming here this weekend. We got the MCC Cincinnati round for the Route 66 Sprint Series. We have Caleb Smock and Emery Lida going in the announcer booth there. And I know my Texas people that tune in, I'll be down at Amarillo. I missed the last 2 TSRS events. I'll be over there this week with the crew with Riley Can, Cameron Reed, and our new announcer and producer Taylor Burris. So we'll have a few new faces on the announcing side. We got that Stars race at Jersey, end of the month. We have, I'm trying to think, there's one of our good supporters here, the Pad Holder Super Cups up this weekend. I can't remember which of the CKNA series. I think the North Series might have a date coming up, but I think I'm off by a week or 2. There's the Elkhart Riverwalk Grand Prix this week. There's also the Commercial Point Grand Prix over in Ohio, so there's some street racing going on. It's a busy, busy summer. Before we want to sign this one off, I want to give a shout out to my mom. It is her birthday tomorrow, and I want to say thanks to my parents. I'm obviously not homeless as much as Pauly might think that I got robbed at the beginning of the show. We have not. I'm in a house. I'm safe. We have AC. So, boys, thanks again for tuning in. Guys and girls for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. We'll bring these guys on all some more whenever Martin's in the right time zone and whenever everybody else gets off video games. So that does it for Happy Hour, episode number 53. We will see you guys later on here down the road. We'll be back next week.